One of the most familiar passages in all the New Testament, especially evangelical churches that believe that Jesus really does matter for the world, is the Great Commission. And in the Great Commission, Jesus says, "Go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything that I have commanded you." And I'm crazy enough to believe that when Jesus gave the Great Commission to his disciples, he really did believe that 12 people could really change the world. "85 years ago, missionaries from SIM began their ministry in a region of Ethiopia called the Walita district.
Dr. Lambie and a small number of SIM missionaries came, and that's where the gospel first got planted and took root.
Not tens, not hundreds, but thousands of Ethiopians embraced the radical love message of Jesus Christ in their life. And it was out of that initial movement that a national denomination was started, the Hewet, the Word of Life.
It just kind of took off and grew. And so when SIM finally returned, we worked in partnership with that church, but it's largely been an indigenous church that's grown on its own. Esaias, for a number of years, has been involved in pastoral training within the Kale Hewet Church. As he was involved with training pastors, one of the obstacles that a lot of these pastors met with was, well, that's fine, but the elders at my church don't see the value of it. They want me out there doing evangelism. They don't see the value of my investing in a few people more deeply. So that's when he came to SIM and came to me and said, we need to be training not just pastors, but we need to be training those that are in positions of leadership, elders, deacons, district superintendents, and so on. Because unless they kind of have that same vision and passion for discipling people, they're going to continue to be a barrier to the pastors in the churches practicing it.
Christianity in Ethiopia, and even beyond Ethiopia, Africa, has been said a mile wide. So we are encountering nominal Christianity. We have many people, many members who are going to church. But discipleship is bringing a solution, a remedy for that problem. We are addressing that problem. The leadership has to know how to lead. The leadership has to know the contents of leadership. So we just put that into curriculum, the knowledge part. But something that makes difference is the doing part. Leaders need to know their congregation. They need to share their lives with others. They need to be in their shoes. They will lead from their exemplary lives so that others will follow them.
This DEL program push Christians to be intimate friendship with Jesus. So because of that, they will teach, they will lead, they will share what they have for others.
It is easy to give a lecture on prayer, but it's something that begins by kneeling down. So Ethiopian leaders need to kneel down, and then others will follow kneeling down for prayer. That is leading by example.
What would happen if we took the Great Commission seriously? And I don't mean in the typical church sense of, yo, yeah, this is the Great Commission. But what if that became our mantra? What if we believed it to the point that we called other African denominations to Ethiopia to come and experience what the Kale Hewet Church is experiencing and doing personally? What if we were to invite them to come, these huge mega denominations with literally millions of men and women and children and possibility and potential and dreams and futures? What if we were to invite them to Addis Ababa for them to see personally and to experience personally a movement of God in a discipleship denomination, for them to take that back with them to their African country? I'll be honest, it woke me up this morning, that vision. In fact, that dream is already in place. And at the end of January, African denominational leaders are being invited to come to Addis Ababa to experience and to taste a working discipleship strategy. Not just theory, but a working discipleship strategy of a large denomination that is putting into practice the plan and the purposes of Jesus and seeing the fruit that comes of that.